G'day, this is Captainoob, and in this video I'm going to be continuing my quest to find a viable endgame minigun in Fallout 76. What you have before you is an anti-armor explosive plus 15% a reload minigun, which is a 3-star beast, very nice. Now, like I discussed before, with high rate of fire, low damage weapons, the anti-armor effect tends to be pretty good on those, because with a damage of only 19, a lot of enemies are going to be soaking up a lot of that damage in their armor, so we can give ourselves a little bit of an edge to punch right through it. I think we might be doing pretty good with this weapon, and of course the exploding legendary effect is very good for this weapon because you'll be getting a lot of volume for those explosive bullets, even though it was heavily nerfed and does scale off the low base damage. But still, let's go ahead and spruce this up a little bit with perks. Now, instead of having the usual stuff, I'd like to chuck on lock and load in a perfect world, but I'm currently carrying around 20 pounds worth of missiles, and that is before... yeah, that's before I even take this off, so I'm going to have to keep that on, but luckily we've got Speed Demon, and we've also got that extra reload speed on that, so we'll go on 3 Heavy Gunner perks. We'll boost our explosive damage with Demo Expert, which is down here, by the way. We've got to remember alphabetical orders, and to boost our damage ever so slightly more, we'll chuck on Bloody Mess, and with all of those perks, we get 39 damage, which is a cut above what other weapons have been so far, at least for the minigun, so yeah, I don't think we're up to too of a bad start, to be honest. Oh yeah, and I've also prepared for this a little bit better this time. See, we all know that the minigun's a very hungry weapon, so I've got myself about 40,000 5mm rounds, so this thing should be well fed for a very long time. Better grab a few more of these just to be sure. Instead of starting this off against the Super Mutants, there's some fucker in there already, we're going to start off with a little bit of PvP. So there's a level 129 dude down there. We're in Power Armor because we get the Stabilized perk benefits out of this. We're at 11 Fusion Cores, which is okay. If we can pinch one out of here, that'd be nice. Let's just ignore that froggy sounding dude. I've got bigger problems. See, there's a red mark on the map, and I'm not talking about that Scorched Beast. You know what? The Scorched Beast can come later. Now, I'm focusing on... oh, mate, where is he? Okay, he should be right in front of me at this point. The fog is obstructing my vision quite a lot. And what have you got, by the way? Ah, he's got an old antiquated Gatling gun. So let's just go ahead and tear him a new one, hopefully. Okay, that didn't go quite as expected, I'll admit that. And now he's brought out weapons against me. I can no longer damage him anymore. I mean, he must be like regenerating his health. I don't know. Yay! I'm gonna blame that one on lag. Also, no bitching out. I'm finishing you off. Okay. Now that we do have a Scorched Beast around, we're relieved of that guy of his 5 cap bounty. We might as well just go ahead and finish this little clip by killing this Scorched Beast here. Hopefully he's not too mad about me using all of my 5mm ammo. See, I knew 40% or 40,000 ammo was just about right for this, and as you can tell, this thing is really tearing itself apart in terms of condition there, and yeah, that's not good. But luckily for us, we've got ourselves a little bit of one gun army, so hopefully he will be landing in just a second. In the meantime, we'll gather some adrenaline on these blokes if we can. We do have Grenadier on, so our explosive radius is a little bit more, so, you know, that's cool. It's very helpful for miniguns, which spew a lot of bullets around in basically every direction that you're sort of pointing in, so it's also a good thing to have. And once we zero in on these guys, it's actually kind of easy to take them out, although these are only squishy Scorched dudes, so as soon as we get the bat to land, where are you, by the way? No, I'm just going to have to fight this dude here. He's coming back for more. Come on. Eesh. They take a bit of killing, and he's finally down on the ground. Let's go ahead and get stuck into him. So a whole lot of 5mm rounds is going into him right now, and it's not doing a whole lot of damage, to be honest. We're doing something at least. This thing might actually break before I even get the killing blow. So, yeah, I didn't even get the killing blow myself. But, yep. I guess that'll give you a nice indication of this thing's damage first off, and we've also knocked 2 birds, 1 stone there, a little bit of PvP and a bit of Scorched Beast action. There you go, it's just a variety channel here at Captainoob today. Alright, I guess we go to the Super Mutants now, I suppose. You know what, I'm not satisfied with the PvP thus far, so I'm going to bully a level 34. It was easy that time, at least. This is a really poor decision, by the way, but you asked for it. Why would you seek revenge? I would heavily advise not seeking revenge after this, alright?
You fucking child. You fucking child. You fucking child.
Alrighty, this thing all repaired up. Let's continue, but to make sure our perks are in action here, let's just unequip and re-equip that. Looks pretty accurate. I'd say stabilize is on. Let's get started on these muties. Yeah, it's not too bad. Trouble is, I'm spending like 80 bullets on a kill here. Although, when adrenaline gets running, we might actually have that a little bit better off. And if they're all gathered around us so I can bounce the explosive damage off multiple people, then that's alright. Also, you can sort of attack helicopter your way through this if you want to. If you've got my super and a jetpack with, a power armor with jetpack, it's pretty cool actually. Regardless, we seem to be doing pretty good, I guess. Like, it's not too bad. Didn't seem to do much in that PvP situation before. I don't really know what happened, but I guess when we're not infused with lag anymore, we can actually do pretty good. So I have noticed that there's a legendary there. I'll go loot him after I'm done with this initial section, but ooh, that's actually killing him pretty quick. Wow, okay, we might actually have a decent minigun here, so long as you've got this thing hyped up on all of the adrenaline in the world, I guess. Ain't no escaping from me, just ask Salt AU. Vampire's harpoon gun, eh? Might be interesting if I put a the flechet receiver on that, I think. Now it's decision time, because you might notice with this thing it's got pretty low damage despite having all-in heavy gunner and also in demo expert. So if we take that one out, we're only losing, let's see, like 4 damage, I think. So on that note, we could probably get away with not using demo expert, which we could make this thing last a lot longer. But since adrenaline goes on sort of a multiplier, we might actually get better damage just from this thing doing a little bit more better damage now. So ooh, it's actually a kind of a tough decision between them. In an ideal world, I'd have a little bit more in intelligence, but I'm not spending several level ups making my build all good for only one weapon, and that being miniguns. That's just madness. So we'll just have to start from the start, regain some adrenaline, take out the weak ones first. But I think we're actually doing pretty well with the anti-armor explosive legendary effect on this. I think it's actually a good combination. Anything that could probably be more powerful than this is maybe the Furious explosive mods, and really the third one is just the icing on the cake. Really, that really doesn't help out your performance. It's just a nice bonus. Maybe a little bit more fire rate, or is that just a secondary effect? I think that one would override explosive actually. So no, explosive is definitely the one you want on this one. Where is this guy? Where is he hidden? Also, I've got ghoul aids despite not being in contact with ghouls at all. Ah, there you are. How did I miss you? Anyways, we'll go ahead and take him out. I do like how sometimes your weapons zoom in right to your face. You can still aim with this thing when you're jetpacking around, which is actually kind of useful. Alright, so I'm going to switch off Demo Expert in here just to see how much longevity we can get on this thing. And we're straight into the firing line here. Looks like super mutants have all sort of come up around me, so let's just keep this thing bursting. Hey, actually, you know what would be a cool legendary or a perk to have with the heavy weapons? It actually might make miniguns better. Give you a perk that actually increases damage with sustained fire. That way you wouldn't be bursting miniguns, you'd actually be holding down the triggers to kill people. I think the giblets went through the grills there, that's unfortunate. Fortunately, it wasn't a super cool weapon that I missed out on. It's just a bit of armor that I was probably just bound to sell anyway. So without Gunsmith or without Demo Expert, we are losing out a little bit in damage. I'm hoping Adrenaline can pick up the slack a little bit, because when we do get this thing running, this thing has a quick time to kill. It's quicker than the two-shot explosive TSE. That's the same thing. Two-shot explosive Gatling gun, which is interesting. Although it seems to struggle with the old splash damage type thing. So jumping up here would probably be a better answer for those guys. Also, that guy's got a missile launcher, so I definitely want those missiles later. We might actually be losing out on a bit of damage due to being slightly out of range for this barrel because it is an up-close and personal barrel. There's actually arguments for putting on the tri-barrel instead, so you get even more damage for your perks to multiply it on at the cost of a little bit of fire rate, but you do get accuracy from it too, which would probably synergize very well with stabilize too, which is worth thinking about. I haven't actually unlocked that. I'm not sure if there's like a plan to do that. If you have the plans for that, I'd happily buy it off you. I've got some prime plans to trade myself if you're interested in trading those ones. Let's keep the trading and the economics out of this video. We're looking at the explosive minigun's damage. And by the way, how are we going for condition? Okay, this thing's nearly fucked already. So I don't think I'll come back after this thing is broken. I think you get the picture of this thing. If it does happen to break like it did then, I'll just probably clear out the last couple of legendaries with my TSE Gatling. But there's a really direct comparison of what these things are like. Yeah. Considering how many bullets I'm spewing at the super mutants to kill them with the minigun, it really makes this thing a superior weapon. Oh, weapon balance in this game. If they just buff the minigun's damage to be like ultimately the most powerful thing ever, it'd be unbalanced, but at least it'd be usable. Oh well, I think they do have to look at the balancing of miniguns and also Gatling lasers, because right now they're not all that good. And if this was back in Fallout 3 or New Vegas, I'd use that minigun right there to repair my own anti-armor explosive minigun, but unfortunately no mods for that or anything exist yet. I can't wait until we get mod support. It's going to be fucking tits. Alrighty, so somebody who's already come over and blew all the cars up. Hopefully I'll get the ghouls spawning, but I don't think it's super necessary to grab... What are you doing up here? No, I was expecting ghouls, not fucking radroaches. But yes, these guys are not as tanky as super mutants, so I can probably forego having something like Demo Expert on, so Gunsmith all the way. Hopefully we can get some longevity out of this minigun, right? And until we get adrenaline kicking in, I'm probably just going to play this super cautiously, but if I see them all gathered around, I'm just going to point my gun at what needs killing, and we'll see how it works. There's windows there. This is an incredible light show display, but they're still breaking through. Got 100 left, and they'll be gone very quickly. We're down to the glowing ones, so that's pretty good. And we'll go ahead and jump back over here so we can lure some more out to us. I don't really know where Bethesda intended miniguns to be placed. I don't think they wanted them to be inferior to other weapons, but I know what this means, right? They're gonna say, oh, something is inferior and underused. Let's just nerf everything that's better than it. That's their base. That's basically how they fix this game, quote unquote fix. They just nerf what's cool. Give me Demo Expert back, please. My broad-sided needs it. How done are we in here? I'm pretty sure we're done. Actually, we're probably not done because some arsehole didn't bother to fucking go to work today. Nor did he bother to fucking pose properly. He T-posed all the way. That was like getting dabbed on by an AI. Also, this guy, the dude who doesn't have a house, poor bastard. He must be the outcast of the ghouls. Alright, so, you know what? That was pretty good. Still use a ton more 5 mils than what we would have gotten out of our 2-shot explosive Gatling gun, but we cut through them pretty easily, I suppose. And you know what? I had too many 5mm rounds anyway, right? I've got an idea. What if I use a minigun as a stealth weapon? Yeah, that's right. We're going to be stealth commandoing with a minigun. Okay, it didn't last for very long, but still, at least we're getting a little bit more armor penetration. Oh, really? Oh my god, I've repaired this thing too many times already, and we still haven't got through the crabbies either. They're coming up next, but damn it. Let me tell you, the quest to find a viable endgame minigun is a bit hard right now. He had a Bonesaw on him. Poor Bonesaw. At least we've freed Bonesaw from his behemoth. Glowy red eyes. You know, if I had a spring for every time I had to repair this thing, I'd have enough springs to actually repair this for eternity, which does make a lot of sense, but still, I need to repair this thing too much. God damn it, Bethesda, up its durability, please. Okay, new server time. The other place was cleared out by a unyielding, bloodied player, and it looks like we've got little baby Milox, which would be easy prey for my minigun, so, you know, that's cool. And just to make sure this thing doesn't break on me too quickly, we'll go ahead and blow these guys up with the unequipped and then re-equipped minigun. Alright, so we've just got a basic lobster over here. Bless his little cotton socks. He is now dead. That person over there, that little dude. There's another one here. Another one. There we go. Chopping through these guys easily enough. These aren't endgame enemies, so nothing to be expected out of that. So 56 damage for our adrenalized minigun. Hopefully we can kill the queen within 60 seconds to show off that 60%. Or we could have killed this one instead. Either would have done, but yep. 59 damage at 60% adrenaline, which is quite substantial. And this thing, just like it was before, like, you could chuck on Gunsmith, you're still going to flog the thing at the end of the day. It's going to break on you very, very quickly. So the question of reliability does really bring the minigun down. So in conclusion, I think this has been probably the best minigun I've used so far, but I think I have failed in my trials to find... Oi, look at these bastards. Okay. I'm gonna interrupt the mating rituals of these vertibots here, but yeah, I think I've kind of failed in my prospects of finding a half-decent minigun here. Granted, it's pretty damn good. If I crouch here, I'm gonna get meta accuracy, aren't I? I mean, it's pretty good. It does a lot better than what other miniguns I've used before, which is good, especially the non-explosive ones, but I think some work needs to be done to the minigun, unless Bethesda are happy with the way it's balanced now, which means nobody's ever going to use it. Because let's be honest, when's the last time you actually saw someone running around with a minigun? Can you think of a situation where you've seen an endgame fight? Maybe you've seen one by the Scorched Beast Queen. Okay, you might have seen one there, but compare that to the amount of times you see a big old Gatling gun in their hands instead. Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't see barely any of miniguns compared to how many Gatling guns you see, do you? So I think some balancing needs to be done to make the minigun a little bit more viable, I reckon. But I think, despite failing the task of finding a good endgame minigun, it has been the best so far. And I've got a 2-shot explosive one with the prime barrel on too, so I'll definitely try that out if people are interested, maybe in a couple of days or something, so stay tuned for that. If you'd like to see this thing in your game, good luck getting the drop, unless you're super lucky like Titch. He's good for that. Also, I've got a Medic's explosive one if you're interested in another explosive one. I don't want to really test that. We've pretty much seen what the explosive effect does with an anti-armor one. It'll be a little less effective, and honestly, I'm not going to be testing the Medic's effect because I always do these videos solo. It's basically the vampire's effect but on crits. Not the best on a minigun, but a free explosive minigun for anyone who would want it. Thank you for watching, guys.